Alright, hi guys. This is GWA Network here. And today, in the Home Gym series, I'm going to continue building this wall around it. But first, sound goes, so you could hear it too. Once I'm done with the main part of the gym, I'm probably gonna build another room for cardio machines. Once I'm done with the main part of the gym, I'm not done adding plates yet because I'm going to have to add some accessory plates too that fit 1-inch barbells or 2.5 centimeter barbells. How am I going to start my own gym? I'm going to need crowdfunding, which is part of the reason why I have Patreon. Yes, it'll be a local business. The gym would be open 24/7. The reason there'd be a couple machines that basically do the same exercise is if one has to go into maintenance mode, the other would be open to use, while another is put into storage for maintenance. That explains why I would do that. The cost of the gym? If I want a more economically feasible route, I'm going to have to buy a plot of land, then build the gym, basically I'd have to build a plot of land. Basically, I'd also have to survey the land too to make sure it's safe to build on. There wouldn't just be a lat pull-down machine. There would also be a squat rack and the power tower too. As well as a Roman chair. For me personally, I would only recommend some isolation exercises, but not all. This is because if you do entirely isolation exercises, you're not going to make much gains at all. When doing certain exercises, focus on the range of motion. The exercises with the greatest range of motion tend to have the biggest gains. Like when you exercise certain muscles. Which is why doing squats will help get you bigger gains compared to doing leg presses. This is because you have a greater range of motion when doing squats. Compared to when you're doing leg press. When compared to the leg press, squats offer greater range of motion, which means bigger gains to your legs. How you position your feet when you do a squat can affect what muscles you target. If your feet are close together, it becomes more of a quad and hamstring dominant movement. And the gluteal dominant movement. But when they're far apart, like sumo squat, the muscles that are inside the thighs become more, like you activate more of your your inner thigh muscles. But when your feet are close together, your quads and hamstrings, as well as your gluteus maximus, play a bigger role in activation. Whilst your inner thigh muscles act more as a stabilizer. You also activate your abdominals too, but that's more of a stabilizer muscle too. whenever you push with an underhand motion, your bicep is actually activated. Because your bicep helps stabilize your arm when you're pushing with an underhand motion. The bicep, doesn't have to do as much work when you're doing it in an overhand push. An overhand press versus underhand press. With the overhand press, you target your chest, triceps, and shoulders. But with, underhand bench press, basically you're adding biceps to the activation, to the muscle activation. This is because your bicep helps stabilize your arm during a bench press. It kind of explains how gymnasts have pretty defined biceps, yet they don't do curls at all. Yet they still manage to have some pretty good looking biceps. It's not because they do bicep curls, but it's because they do a lot of underhand lifting with their entire arms in a straight position. Like when you do an underhand and forward shoulder raise, not only your shoulders activated, your deltoid, but your biceps are also activated too, because that helps stabilize the arm. Same thing with doing an underhand chest fly. Your bicep becomes activated too, as it helps stabilize your arm during the fly. One good exercise to help your traps and shoulders is an overhead upright row, in which it's kind of like a regular upright row, but instead of stopping at your collarbone, you stop overhead when the dumbbell or barbell is over your head, kind of like an overhead press. And it's safer to do the overhead upright row instead of just a regular upright row. And that's because not only you have a reduced risk of injury compared to the regular upright row, but you're also using a greater range of motion too, which means more strength for your shoulders. You should always, when doing strength training exercises, it's best to focus on exercises that offer the greatest range of motion for the muscle group. Your hamstrings are not just there for leg flexion, they also help extend your hips. Even though I weigh about 165 pounds, I can already leg press about 220. With a cable machine. Like with a stack-loaded machine. You should only do a leg press if you want to test your strength. Me personally, I don't advise doing leg press unless you're going to test your strength across your quads and hamstrings. If you do, it's not just doing an underhand bench press that can help strengthen your biceps, but doing an underhand shoulder press can do the same thing too. As well as underhand push-ups, which, like, underhand relative, like, to where you're facing. Which, the same part of your wrist as facing the same position as your palm normally would be facing the same position as your face would be facing forward. And if you want to train triceps, push-ups and bench presses are the most common exercises to do it. But if you want to do a more tricep-dominant movement, go for a closer grip. But if you want to isolate the triceps altogether, go for tricep extensions. And tricep pushdowns. Another way how you can train your triceps is through doing dips. That's actually another way of doing it. It's another way of training your triceps. But with dips, bench presses, and push-ups, you're not just training triceps, you're also training your chest. lot of us would find it hard to do pistol squats because, because you're putting all your weight onto one leg. A lot of it's because you're putting all your weight onto one leg. I'm probably going to start doing pistol squats once my legs are strong enough. Once my legs are strong enough, I'll be able to do pistol squats. When it goes to trap exercises, I'll train your lats. Like, if you want to train your lats, one way how you can do it is bent over dumbbell rows, or simply bent over rows. Another way how you can do it is a supinated body weight row. It's kind of like a body weight version of a bent over dumbbell row, or a bent over row. Another way how you can train your lats is doing a lat pull down. Another one is simply doing a pull-up. Doing a pull-up is one way how you can train your lats. Doing a chin-up will not only train your lats, but it's also going to train your biceps too. The muscle-up is basically a pull-up followed by a dip. Basically, you explode all the way up. On the way up. That's kind of hard. If you want to train your abs, whatever you do, I advise you not to use the ab machine. Because that's going to hurt your back more than it'll train your abs. I wouldn't advise using the abdominal machines. The best thing to do is go for doing sit-ups, crunches, and also using an ab wheel machine. One way how you can do leg extensions is to go into a push-up position with your knees touching the floor. And extend your knees while holding the position. You'd be in a mountain type position, which you're That's basically a body weight leg extension, in which you rely on your body weight for the exercise, instead of using plates or stack-loaded machines. Not only a lot of the shoulder, one way how you can train your neck is upright rows. It's preferably overhead upright rows, since you have greater range of motion and a reduced risk of shoulder injury. Another exercise you can do to train your neck, shoulder shrugs. And pseudo planche can train your shoulders and biceps too. The hardest shoulder exercise is imagine trying to do a handstand on the push-up. It's best that you start doing shoulder presses before you do the handstand push-up, because you're concentrating all your body weight onto both of your hands. Some people are able to do handstand push-ups. It's basically a bodyweight version of the military press. Doing a handstand, many of us can't do a handstand. When doing lower back exercises, one of the best exercises for your lower back is doing lower back extensions, especially if you don't extend too far. Like, go all the way until your back is parallel with your legs. Anyways, this is GWA Network signing off. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. Dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe for more. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for more content like this. As always, see y'all next time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Until next time. Bye.